welcome to 20 Minutes on DawnNews English. I'm Nadia Naqi with you. We have the former Federal Minister for Information, Fawad Chaudhry, with us, one of the eminent leaders of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. And what has been happening in Punjab doesn't seem to settle anytime soon. It looks like that the matter is going to be taken to the courts. We all know that the governor of Punjab had asked the CM Punjab to take a vote of confidence. However, the coalition government insists that the governor can summon anytime, even while the assembly is in session. What is going to happen? Because we saw that Federal Minister for Interior Rana Sanaullah had been saying this, and even late night there was a press conference by Ataullah Tarar of PMLN saying that anytime soon the CM is going to be denotified by the governor. Can this happen? We also see that PTI is all set to protest outside the Governor House today. So let's speak to Fawad Chaudhry and find out exactly what is happening and what Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is thinking, how to settle the matters. We need to know exactly why is it that the CM did not take the vote of confidence, because when you have the numbers, that's what the coalition government has been saying, that why run away from grabbing those votes when you've got the numbers right?
It's not about the chief minister, it's about the speaker, who says that as per the judgment of Lahore High Court, full court judgment, full bench judgment, 10 clear days has to be given for the vote of confidence. And also the special session needs to be called. And as per Article 109 of the Constitution, Governor has to prorogue the earlier session and call the new session. That governor has not done that. So this is primarily the constitutional requirement that 10 days has to be given. And yes, absolutely. And the reason for these 10 days is that, for example, even now, our 4 members are out of Pakistan. 2 are in Makkah for pilgrimage, and 2 are one is in Dubai and one is in London. So they need travel time. So the High Court has given a right decision asking governor that he has to give a reasonable time to summon the session. So we believe that if this session they invite in 10 days or 12 days or 15 days, Chief Minister has no problem.
Okay, so the 4 members that you say are not in Pakistan and for various reasons, do they include Mr. Dareshak, which had a spat with CM Punjab in the cabinet and then he had offered his resignation?
Hassan Dareshak is in Pakistan and he is not a member of PMLQ. He is a member of PTI and
yes,
he will go with his party.
So, all right. Okay, now you're also holding a protest outside the Governor House today. Why is the protest needed? There is a legal, issue that you feel, your party feels, even the CM feels, that a special session needs to be summoned by the governor, which he cannot unless and until the following session, which is in session, is prorogued. So why the protest now?
Because we are a political party. Our strength, unlike the government, who has no public strength, who has no public following. Actually, they cannot go even in the market to for the dinner or lunch. We have public following, and we believe that people are the ultimate arbiter. And for a political party, it's important to involve its workers and citizens in its narrative.
All right, so that's the protest. Do you see, Fawad, that all of this is now going to be again landing in the court? And Punjab doesn't seem to settle. Entire administration, there was much criticism drawn over his governance. After that, the matters have yet not been settled, and it doesn't look like it's going to be settled soon.
It's not about Punjab. The whole Pakistan is in a turmoil. There's a political instability that is now prevailing in Pakistan after this regime change operation. Unfortunate, unconstitutional change of the government has led to a catastrophic situation in Pakistan, where economy is going down. Pakistan is at the brink of default, kind of political atmosphere that we have never witnessed before. So unfortunately, this is not the Punjab that is in the political turmoil. It's a whole people and for a fresh vote. And this is what you do in democracies. when a crisis passes through a certain threshold, you go back to people and ask for fresh vote. And this is what we are trying to do.
All right. And so once all of this is over, the vote of confidence and all of that, is that when you will decide to dissolve the assembly, as Khan Sahab had said, that Friday is going to be the day when he's going to dissolve the Punjab assembly as well as KP assembly?
Just a week back, the interior minister and the PMLN, honchos were like pro-beating that go ahead and dissolve the assembly and we will go for elections, blah blah. But as the date for dissolution of assembly approached, they actually hindered the vote. They brought this no confidence motion, and under the constitution, that unless this no confidence motion is defeated, chief minister cannot advise governor for the dissolution of assemblies. So PMLN has actually used a technicality to delay the dissolution of Punjab Assembly, and we will surely dissolve the assembly as soon we pass this hindrance.
All right. So you've also heard the government time and again be saying that very soon the governor is going to be denotifying the CM. What plans do PTI have to actually deal with this if he's actually denotified?
The governor has no such authority till he has the confidence of the majority. So the chief minister at the moment has confidence of 189 members. So governor has no authority to denotify. If he does, it will be a trash. It will land into a trash bin. His notification. Obviously, nobody is going to implement. This is a country run under the constitution, not on the wishes and wills of a single person.
There's also, there's a lot of discussion around the governor's rule also, that, the government might impose a governor's rule for 2 months and then probably extend it for a period of 6 months. So it's very eminent that the coalition government is not holding the elections anytime soon. So this leaves you outside the parliament, and this leaves you again protesting on the streets. Do you not think now is the time to go back to the parliament and fight it out over there?
Governor rule can be imposed only under certain conditions, and one of the primary condition is that there is a constitutional breakdown in a province. There is no such situation in Punjab, so governor rule cannot be imposed, and the president of Pakistan has the ultimate authority to decide about that whether the governor rule is needed or not. Secondly, you see, this parliament, we are ready to go back to parliament, subject to the condition that government announce early elections. If they don't announce early elections, people have already rejected these assemblies. These assemblies are just now rubber stamps. Since the oppression regime change and since the resignation of PTI from the assemblies, we have contested 2 elections on this slogan that these assemblies have lost their importance, and as you know, we have won 75% of those elections. So people of Pakistan are actually standing with the narrative of PTI. So we cannot go back to these assemblies unless government come up with this proposal that they are ready to hold elections.
Okay, so at the moment, are there any talks happening backdoor with the government?
No, unfortunately, no talks. The talks, the president of Pakistan was holding talks with Mr. Dar. He has not been able to come up with any solution. So right now there is no talks.
What months would you actually agree upon for holding the elections early? How early would you actually settle for?
We want elections in March or maximum April, not more than that. Because, the elections is not a PTI need. This is a requirement of the country now, where the stable government is, I think, is a sine qua non for any economic stability. So we need political stability to walk towards economic stability, and this is not happening. So Pakistan is suffering big time because of this insistence of government of avoiding people.
All right. Okay. There's one thing that we would like to ask you is about the seat adjustment and the talks that you're holding with PMLQ right now. How many seats are they actually demanding in the provincial as well as the National Assembly?
Well, we had 2 sessions. The first session was about we decided the principle that yes, we will contest the election in an alliance. In a second meeting, we have now discussed the divisions of Gujranwala and Gujarat, and we are going by the seats, and there's no specific number allocations. PMLQ.
All right, because there was a figure that was being quoted by Mr. Shafkat Mahmood, approximately about 45 in total, including the national as well as the provincial assembly. That's too many seats. The PTI supporters or those office bearers who must have been waiting for general elections to take place is always a loss to a political party when you go in alliances or seat adjustments.
Well, I tend to agree with that. PTI doesn't really need alliance at the moment. We are winning election anyways by 2/3 majority, but PMLQ has stood with us in difficult times, and we would like to, you can say, we would like to stand with them, and we would like to strengthen them.
So, which means you don't have a choice right now, because the kind of pressure that they have been created, criticizing the very narrative of PTI, criticizing a lot of office bearers of, including yourself. That's what Parvez Elahi did in one of the interviews last week. But I think PTI has no choice at the moment, because you need to dissolve the assembly, which without Parvez Elahi's consent, you can't.
Well, this is guts of parliamentary democracy. There is no absolute power with everyone. So
right.
Yes, we need them, and we really want them to execute this plan of holding elections in Punjab.
Okay, you're talking about the economic instability, which of course exists. There's a quagmire. There are challenges. Do you really think that extending the assemblies, which the government has been hinting, whether Mr. Ayaz Sadiq, Maulana Fazlur Rahman and the likes, Pakistan will be probably in a direction of getting stability in its economy, or no?
But unfortunately, they are thinking only in terms of their personal economy, which is obviously getting stable every day. The kind of way they are, getting NRO in all of their cases. Their corruption cases have been thrown out. The whole Sharif family is now actually enjoying the bonanza of this regime change. And they are, all of their cronies, including Fazlur Rahman and Zardari, they have minted billions of rupees, and they don't want to leave government. They would like to extend the government. I totally agree with you. But every day they spend in government, people of Pakistan lose. So this is the interest of this ruling junta of Pakistan, and people of Pakistan are totally diverse. So every day they spend in the government, actually the people of Pakistan are paying for that, and that's why we want early elections and as soon as possible.
Okay, you are demanding early elections, have been demanding for the past 7-8 months. Does PTI have a plan to get the economic stability back if you win the general elections?
We got Pakistan almost in the same condition in 2018, and we turned around the economy. Pakistan was growing at a rate of 5.57%, and it was expected that this year we will grow by 6%. We created 5.5 million jobs. The dollar was in control. Exports were record high. Remittances were record high. The confidence of especially overseas Pakistanis and investors were growing every day, despite all the media propaganda that was going on against us. We will do it again. Now we have created 17 groups under Mr. Shaukat Chaudhry, who comprises on experts. We are drafting our own policy for these 17 groups. That includes, exports, the remittances. That includes the short-term measures and the mid-term measures and the long-term measures for economy.
Okay. Lastly, I'd like to ask, there's a lot of discussion around the establishment, which of course plays an important part in Pakistan's political history. As of now, what kind of hopes have you attached with the current establishment? In his outgoing speech saying that, they have decided to stay political.
Well, we hope that the present establishment will come up with its own policies and distance itself from the toxic policies of General Bajwa, especially in the last 7-8 months, what he has done. The situation of human rights, the situation of the independence of media in Pakistan touched the new low in those 7-8 months. Cases like Azam Sabati and Shahbaz Gill has actually shaken the confidence of people on establishment, and I would say that the new leadership has a lot to think. New leadership has to come up with a ways to distance itself from the policies of their predecessors. This is the only way Pakistan can. The distance between the institutions and the people are broadening. This must be taken care of. This must be looked at as soon as possible.
Even though the former army chief is no more and there's a new military leadership, you still feel that the distance is widened. And if it is, do you not blame Khan Saab and Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf for it, because the tirade still continues? All of you, right from 2018 election onwards, and that is something Khan Saab had been saying, that he's one of the best army chiefs he's ever come across, who's very democratic and has been on the same page.
Perfect, absolutely right. And that's why General Bajwa and army was popular in people of Pakistan, because they stood with the people of Pakistan. When they opted to stand with the villains of Pakistan, obviously institutions suffered and General Bajwa suffered. The faces of Fazlur Rahman, Nawaz Sharif, Zardari, they are villains of Pakistan youth. As Bilawal and Mariam, they are hated by people of Pakistan. The kind of money they have, siphoned away, the kind of policies they have, the anti-people policies they actually opted. Obviously, they are villains of Pakistan, and army and other institutions must stand with people of Pakistan.
This is, quite surprising, because you mean to say that if the establishment stands with PTI, then they stand with the people of Pakistan.
Well, they are in the assemblies when in 2018 they contested against each other. Today they are together only because they don't want Imran. They don't want to see Imran Khan. So that's why we want new elections. The establishment role must be not to support unconstitutional actions. Establishment must stay within the limits of the constitution. They don't have to vote. We don't expect that army should campaign for PTI. We don't expect that army and other institutions should actually be working for PTI. What we want is that institutions should work within the framework of the constitution. For example, the courts, the way Islamabad High Court has come up with these judgments. On one day, they had two different versions. For Javed Latif and Mariam Aurangzeb, they said the cases are stopped, and for Azam Sabati, they rejected his petitions. So I believe that such kind of decisions, institutions must regain their respect.
Well, the institution that you have been talking about, Fawad, that is the courts, even the government, they have complaints. Like, look at Faisal Wada. He was like, politicians, I'd say, when the judgments are in their favor, they love the courts. But if they aren't, they criticize the judgments, then, which of course is your right to criticize, because the judgment is in public domain.
You see, my criticism or anyone's criticism doesn't matter. It's the criticism of the it's the generality of the criticism that matters. And when the courts are considered as in the public confidence, the survey shows that Pakistan is at number 130 in the rule of law, and the people of Pakistan lacks trust on the courts. This is for the Chief Justice of Pakistan and the Chief Justice of High Court to sit together and think what's going wrong. So it's not about the individual criticism; it's about the collective thinking about the courts and the justice system that people of Pakistan have.
Okay, something very important regarding Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. You all have been blaming that the rise in terrorism happened just right after the regime change that you say. But do you not feel Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is primarily by Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf? It's been ruled by them. What is happening over there is really, really surprising, concerning. Yet, you've been blaming the federal government for it.
Yeah, because border controls are under the federal government. Anyone with a very basic knowledge of of Pakistani constitution will reach to the conclusion that it's the border control that has led to this catastrophic situation in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And Murad Saeed and Nurul Qadri and other PTI leaders, they are pointing out to this situation for months. I mean, I believe there were about 4 months that Murad and others held this huge procession in Bengora and pointed out that this is happening. Just look at the videos Murad and others are posting for months. So unfortunately, federal government was too busy in political hobnobbing. They ignored that. Establishment was too busy in fixing Imran Khan. Totally ignored this whole catastrophe that was at our doorstep, and here we are.
Okay, my last question is regarding talks with TTP within Tehreek-e-Insaf, because Khan Sahib has always been propagating regarding talks, whether it is with Taliban or TTP. So now, whatever the current situation is, what do you feel? There should be talks with TTP. They should be allowed to come back, or we should fight them out now?
It's a complex issue. It's not that straightforward answer to that. But yes, the one thing is sure that we cannot fight for another 20 years. We have fought enough, and we need a political solution. And I also like to point out this is not a religious war. TTP is not fighting a religious war, or it's a complex issue that internal displacement took place to Afghanistan. Now there are about 55,000, 60,000 Pakistanis in Afghanistan who want to come back. Their houses, their properties are not there. These 20 years, a lot has been changed in their local areas. Now, we don't want to take this fight into next generation. We have to have some settlement. We have to have some political solution, and unfortunately, we were very close to settlement. We were almost there. 90% of issues with the Taliban were resolved. They were very happy. They were looking forward to Pakistan for their settlement issues with the world. We could have helped them. Our foreign office could have helped them, and we were actually very comfortable with the new government. Unfortunately, after this regime change, the whole Afghan policy is now in the air. No one knows what to do. The foreign minister Bilawal Bhutto, he almost spends half of his tenure in USA, in Washington, but he has never bothered to visit Afghanistan. HINA RABBANI visit was a disaster. That she went there and no significant meeting took place there. After her visit, there was attack on Pakistani embassy. Our whole relationship with Taliban authorities actually broken, and these guys like Mullah Mutaqi and Mullah Yaqub, they are friends of Pakistan, and unfortunately, this government has not used links with them, whereas Imran Khan they had a huge regard for Imran Khan, and unfortunately we missed that opportunity.
Also, you mean to say that Imran Khan can resolve this? Sending HINA RABBANI was a wrong decision, and was it a wrong decision because she's a woman, or was it a wrong decision because you feel that much preparations was not made as to what kind of talks were supposed to be held?
No, preparations were not held. They had no agenda. They don't know what to say there. They had no idea what to talk about. And Mullah Yaqub actually refused to meet her. The Pakistan's ambassador, former ambassador, in his interview, he warned that Pakistan is losing in Afghanistan. Now, India is actually again, even with the Taliban, India is now increasing its relationship. Whereas it's Pakistan that is considered friends with the Taliban all over the world. We should have mended our fences with the Taliban. We should have then brought these Western and American, demands on the table, and we should have tried to reconcile new administration with the Western countries. That we were trying to do. Imran Khan is respected in Taliban, number one. Number two, yes, we did not recognize because we said that we will not be the first country to recognize them. We wanted a kind of group of countries.
Okay.
We were talking to Turkey, we were talking to Saudi Arabia, UAE, China. We wanted these, and Uzbekistan primarily. So these were and Iran. So we thought that these 7 countries will recognize Taliban in the first go, and then we will move forward.
Okay. Thank you so much, Fawad, for being with us on 20 Minutes. Thanks a lot for your time. That's all for today. See you soon. Allah Hafiz.